Now at 9, how one local ministry helps the community ahead of the holidays.
An investigation is underway at a southern Indiana high school, how one lesson went wrong.
Nancy Pelosi announces she is stepping down. Who could be the next House Democratic leader?
New video was released in an investigation of the University of Ohio murders, how this is helping police.
We have some of the coldest air of the season on our way. I have all that in my full forecast coming up.
Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Elias Elsner.
And I'm Olivia Sloniker. It's the season of giving, and one organization in Muncie is working to give back to the community.
NewsLink Indiana's Madeline Kerr tells us how you can help the homeless this winter.
In the back of the New Norm Outreach Center is a closet.
How about them snow boots?
But this closet is a treasure trove for people in Muncie this winter.
We serve a community that literally has no house, and their coat, their gloves, and their hat is their shelter.
Katrina and her mother Beth run the closet and provide clothing to those in need year-round.
Provided blankets, socks, underwear. We do showering here. We have hygiene bags that we give out from time to time. Infants' diapers, food, bottles. We really try to hit all aspects of what somebody might need.
Beth took over the closet after her daughter died last year.
I say, you think your life's bad. Until you lose a child, there is nothing more devastating in life than that.
But she's found a new purpose in helping others.
I think this is my calling.
And providing whatever shelter she can to those that need it.
I don't understand why we have homeless, because, I don't think we should. And I worry about them out in the cold, because I know it's going to be brutally cold. And if I had the money, I would help them, but I don't. And so if this helps them, then it makes me feel good.
In Muncie, Madeline Kerr, NewsLink, Indiana.
Faith Builders Ministries is accepting donations of winter clothing all season long.
You can bring donations to the New Norm Outreach Center at 1127 South Madison Street in Muncie. The Ball State School of Art is hosting an open house tomorrow at the on-campus studios. The event shows what happens in the Ball State Art Studios with demos and student artwork on displays. The art consists of sculptures, animations, glass blowing, and many other types. The open house is taking place in 3 different studios on campus, including the Art and Journalism Building, Applied Technology Building, and the Glick Center for Glass.
So excited because our students have been working so hard all semester, and it's an opportunity for us to show off all the amazing work that they've been doing and also talk about our really great programs that we have here at Ball State.
The event runs from 4 to 8 p.m. Now, those temperatures, they were super cold this week. It looks like they're going to get so much colder. Ryan, what have you got for us?
Yes, those temperatures are going to get much colder here. That's the big story here, but more than my full forecast. Temperatures are 33 degrees in Indianapolis, 31 in Muncie, 32 in Kokomo, and 34 in Lafayette at this hour. And of course, with those winds factored in, we see winds access to 10 to 15 miles an hour, making it feel a whole lot colder than what it actually is. So it makes it feel like it's actually 20 degrees in most of the Indiana viewing area. And over the next 8 hours, we're going to see those temperatures are not going to move too much as we go through out there. But the big changes are on the way, and I have that in my full forecast. Back to you all at the desk.
Thanks, Ryan. An investigation is underway after an officer accidentally fired a gun and hit a student at a southern Indiana school. According to police, the shooting happened this morning. There was a class teaching students how to be officers. Participants in the classroom were doing a drill about a scenario with a so-called bad guy. Indiana State Police identified the deputy as Tim Dispennet, a 19-year-old veteran with the Vermilion County Sheriff's Office. Police say Dispennet accidentally fired his service weapon and hit a student. The student went to the Terre Haute Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
2 of the 4 University of Idaho students found dead in an off-campus residence over the weekend were seen ordering food at a late-night food truck in Moscow, Idaho, the night of their murder. Police said they have found it helpful in developing a timeline of 2 of the victims' whereabouts. Madison Mogan and Kaylee Gonsalves are heard on the video placing an order around 1:40 a.m. Sunday. Joseph Woodall, who manages the truck, told CNN that the 2 students didn't seem to be in any distress or danger. Woodall and the truck's owner, John Fletcher, said law enforcement has yet to get in touch with them. The video is still up on the truck's Twitch account.
The man who killed 6 people and injured dozens more when he drove his SUV through a Christmas parade near Milwaukee will spend the rest of his life in prison, but he'll also spend more time in court. Darrell Brooks appeared today for a final pretrial hearing the day after he was sentenced in the parade incident. This appearance is related to 3 additional open cases, which include reckless endangerment for a 2020 incident and running over a woman with a car in 2021. That happened just 3 weeks before he drove through the Waukesha parade. The outcomes of the trials will not impact Brooks's future. He has already been sentenced to several hundred years of prison time without the possibility of parole.
The acting police chief on the day of the Robb Elementary School massacre has resigned from the Uvalde, Texas police force. That's according to the city's mayor. Lieutenant Mariano Pargas' resignation comes ahead of Saturday's, quote, special meeting called by the city to decide his fate. The mayor put Pargas on administrative leave in July when videos from body-worn cameras raised questions about whether he had taken action to assume command. A recent CNN report demonstrated Pargas was aware students were alive and needed rescue during the school shooting, but failed to organize help.
Never would I have thought that someday I would go from homemaker to House Speaker.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she will not run for a leadership position in Congress in the next session. That announcement comes a day after it was determined the chamber will turn to Republican control. It leaves a power vacuum for Democrats, who will have to elect leaders like Minority Leader and Whip. Representative Jim Clyburn is the current Majority Whip. He indicated before Pelosi made her announcement that he will not seek the Minority Leader position. Clyburn did say he hopes Representatives Hakeem Jeffries, Catherine Clark, and Pete Aguilar are voted into leadership positions. Jeffries is seen as a favorite to become the party's leader in the House.
The Speak Out Act is one step closer to becoming a law after passing in the U.S. House. It makes non-disclosure agreements unenforceable during sexual harassment and assault cases. NDAs are usually included in an onboarding process that new hires sign. They are signed for a wide range of reasons, such as protecting proprietary information to even silencing victims of workplace abuse. Despite widespread support, not everyone was in favor. Most Republican lawmakers voted against it. The Speak Out Act only applies to NDAs signed before the harassment happened.
The Biden administration is trying to make it easier for people to get their federal student loan debt discharged in bankruptcy. The new guidance is meant to simplify the process of proving undue hardship and make it easier for government lawyers to recommend the debt be discharged. The announcement comes a week after President Biden's student loan forgiveness program was struck down by a federal district court in Texas. It was intended to grant up to $20,000 in student loan relief for millions of borrowers. The Department of Justice is appealing, but for now the administration is not allowed to cancel any debt. Currently, payments on federal student loans are set to resume in January after a nearly too-long pause during the pandemic. Coming up, what Starbucks union workers did on this year's Red Cup Day.
And are you ready for it? Taylor Swift broke another record this week. Find out which one.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, Mitts will take you there.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. More than 2,000 Starbucks workers and 112 stores went on strike today.
Today is also the iconic Red Cup Day. It's when customers get red cups along with certain purchases. Those cups entitle them to discounts and extra points on future purchases. Union says the strike is to protest the company's retaliation against union supporters. Here's what one had to say.
In the 6 years that I've been here, I have watched the working conditions dramatically decline, and I've watched so many people that I love beaten to the ground by this company that claims to love and care about us. And I knew something needed to change.
The Labor Relations Board is also taking action. It filed a national cease and desist order to prevent the coffee giant from retaliating against union supporters. There is currently no word on which stores will be affected and if they will be able to stay open.
Taylor Swift just broke another record, but this one is off the Billboard charts. Ticketmaster says Tuesday's sales for her upcoming tour set the record for most tickets ever sold for an artist in a single day. The 2 million tickets sold caused a near meltdown of the Ticketmaster website. All that internet traffic caused Ticketmaster's verified fan system, which was designed to eliminate bots, to slow to a crawl. Consumer complaints even reached Capitol Hill, as Senator Amy Klobuchar has informed Ticketmaster CEO that she has, quote, serious concerns about the situation. Ticketmaster has called off general ticket sales for Friday. It's not clear when that will resume. Roughly 3.5 million Swifties had already signed up for the chance to buy her concert tickets, the largest registration in pop history. If a higher-end iPhone 14 is on your Christmas list, it may be harder than usual to find one before the holidays. According to Apple's website, the iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max are showing as unavailable for pickup in most locations. And many cities now show available dates as far as December 28th or later. The wait times come as Apple confronts supply chain constraints and increased COVID-19 restrictions at its main assembly facility in China. However, the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Max show availability on Apple.com in many locations for same-day pickup.
Tyson is recalling about 94,000 pounds of ground beef. Comes after customers reported finding a type of, quote, mirror-like material in the beef. Neither Tyson nor the Department of Agriculture have offered any explanation as to what the material might be. The impacted meat was only sold in Texas at H-E-B, Joe V's, Mi Tienda, and Central Market grocery stores. It was branded under the name Hill Country Fare in 5- and 10-pound containers of ground beef and ground chuck. Additional details about how to identify impacted meat is available on the USDA's Food Safety and Inspection Service website.
The FDA is giving one company's lab-grown chicken the green light. California-based Upside Foods will be able to start selling its products once its facilities have been inspected by the Department of Agriculture. Upside founder and CEO Uma Valetti has described the process as similar to brewing beer, but instead of growing yeast and microbes, they grow animal cells. An FDA commissioner said in a statement they're ready to work with more food developers that use animal cells obtained from livestock, poultry, and seafood to produce food.
Adderall users can expect to see more challenges in getting their prescriptions filled going forward. The FDA says the Adderall shortage should only last another 30 to 60 days. There has been a surging demand for the drug among people ages 22 to 44, as well as intermittent manufacturing delays at Teva Pharmaceuticals. The drug is primarily used to treat attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder. Doctors say a lack of access to Adderall can have implications for careers, home lives, and even safety.
Well, if you like the cold weather, well, you're going to love this because we have a lot more in there in store for us. So you have all that more in my full forecast coming up after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other
on a deeper level.
Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Welcome back. It's 9:16 and you were looking live at the Foundation's Science Building. My, it was a very cold day. Still more snow on the ground and some ice as well. Definitely did not expect to get a warmer jacket out this morning.
Absolutely, and as I was walking to classes today, I had to take smaller steps in case I caught myself with the snow and the ice. It's so much harder to get to classes, especially at times like this. I always love to grab the shuttle on days like this, especially with those cold temps. Ryan, what have you got for us?
Well, those cold temperatures are actually going to continue in the area. As a matter of fact, it's going to get a little bit cooler as we go through this weekend. More on that a little bit later. But right now, we are seeing, we're going to be dealing with windy Friday and Saturday. Cold temperatures, as I just said, it's on the way. And we're going to have to also deal with those brutally cool, cold wind chills as well. We do have some snow over here in our area right now, but it shouldn't amount to a whole lot in terms of accumulation. But I'm going to zoom you out a little bit further. You're going to see that parts of Michigan and up here in upstate New York and Buffalo, they're getting a whole lot of snow as we speak right now. Some of these areas, they're picking up in excess of 2 to 4 feet. Yes, guys, 2 to 4 feet of snow. Luckily, none of that is going to be coming in our area. But the big story for us is going to be the cold. 32 degrees was our high today. That's all, 32 degrees. We're supposed to be at 51 degrees at this time for this time of the year, and close to nowhere close to the 77 degrees that you seen back in 1958. 31 degrees is our temperature in Muncie right now, 33 degrees in Indianapolis, 31 in Evansville, and 40 degrees at the warm spot in St. Louis at this hour. Now, those winds are also going to be a factor as well. You see that we are access to 10 to 15 miles an hour in terms of our winds, and we're going to have a little bit more on that in just a moment. But here, it's going to factor into the actual wind chill, and our wind chill values are like about 20, feel like 21 in Muncie, 23 in Indianapolis, and 20 degrees at Fort Wayne. But the big thing here is the winds. Now look at these winds here as we go throughout tomorrow into Saturday and also into Sunday as well. We are 20 miles an hour, but look at Saturday. We are access of 30 to even close to 35 miles an hour, 34 miles an hour in Winchester. It's going to be our projected wind gusts, and that's going to create a even more brutal wind chill factors as you see here. We're going to go throughout the day here tomorrow. We're not going to be above 20 degrees. This is our actual feel-like temperature, not the air temperature, the feel-like temperature. Look at Sunday morning, -5 degrees. Yes, guys, -5 degrees. You better get those hats, coat, and those gloves ready. That's going to be a #1 priority as you go out on Sunday morning, because you're going to certainly need those gloves and hats, because this frostbite is a very high possibility. 30 degrees is our temperature for tonight. We're going to drop down to only 27 degrees, guys. Only 27 degrees. And it's not going to move much as well as we go throughout the day. We're going to be 26 degrees going to be our high, a low temperature to start out the day, and we're only going to warm up to 28. We ain't going to get very far in the temperatures, guys. And for the first time since March to 16, yes, guys, March to 16, temperatures are going to be at only 20 degrees, 26 degrees. That was the last time we've seen a temperature this cold, and we're going to see a couple more of those. But hey, we do have some optimism here. We look at 7 days left to Thanksgiving. We are going to have a warmer Thanksgiving here, so that's going to make things a little bit more promising. We see that here on my 7-day forecast. You see that, yes, we got to get through this cold first, guys. We got to get through this. But look at this overnight lows, 11 degrees. 11 degrees is our low. But hey, we got some promise here. Tuesday, look at Tuesday and Wednesday, 50s. Hey, we're back to average here for Tuesday and Wednesday. And of course, Turkey Day, guys, 47 degrees. So, hey, you know, even though it's really cold right now, yes, You want to make sure you get those gloves and those hats out and those heavy coats, because you're going to need, especially early on Sunday morning, because you're going to see those really cold temperatures early in the morning.
And I always feel like the wind makes it so much worse. You know that saying, it wouldn't be so cold if it wasn't for the wind.
Yes,
I think that really comes into effect on days like this. I'm just not looking forward to those cold temps. I don't think I have enough hats to keep myself warm.
But it's only short-lived here, so you don't have to worry about that for a long period of time. But it's just a tease, you know, that winter is on the way. So, you know, just got to get used to that.
Yeah, luckily, you know, I'll be heading home for the weekend, but my parents have a nice wood-burning stove waiting for us. And let's get a look at sports with Max Robson.
A local high school looks to start their season off with a slam.
And I'm Bryce Dimsevich live at Worthing Arena with details on tonight's victory for Ball State over Butler University. All that and more next in sports.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously? Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10. Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Max Robson with sports. Ball State women's basketball faced off against Butler University earlier tonight. NewsLink Indiana's Bryce Dimsevich is live at Worthing Arena to tell us more about the game. Bryce, what do you have for us?
Winter has arrived here in Delaware County, and you know what that means. Basketball season is upon us. And Ball State women's basketball took on the Butler Bulldogs tonight here in Worthing Arena. And coming off the back of a 54-point win over IU East, the Cardinals look to go above 500 for the season and against the Bulldogs that are 1-1. And starting off with action in the first quarter, Butler came out of the gate strong with a 6-point lead to start the game, but the Cardinals kept it close with only a 4-point gap heading into the second. The second was much of the same, tightly contested basketball, with Anna Clefane leading the way with 9 points, Allie Becky with 8, and Thelma DeSaga-Stoddard with 7. And the Cardinals closed the gap, heading into halftime down only 33-32. And coming out of halftime, the Cardinals were able to create the biggest separation of the game so far, climbing to a 12-point lead, led by the bench spark that sophomore Alex Richard was able to provide. BSU went into the fourth with a 10-point lead, 58-48. In the final quarter, Ball State put the hammer down and closed the game out with 5 players in double figures and a final score of 84-68. Ball State's next game is at Notre Dame on November 20th at 4 p.m. Live in Worthing Arena, Bryce Dimsevich, NewsLink, Indiana.
Ball State men's also on the hunt for their second win of the season last night in Omaha, Nebraska. The Cardinals took on the University of Nebraska-Omaha Mavericks in a close matchup. Ball State struggles out of the gate with just 3 points in the first 5 minutes of the contest. The Cardinals able to find their footing and take a hold of a 37-27 lead at the half. The Mavericks fight back and keep pace with Ball State in the second half, but it is the Cardinals that come out on top at 71-61. Ball State will be back at home this Saturday as they take on IU South Bend. Season is in full swing as Delta High School boys basketball looks to start their season off strong. The Eagles took on the Northeastern Knights in a scrimmage game last night to prepare themselves for the start of the season. The scrimmage is split up into 5 10-minute segments with a score reset after each period. Delta finishes well on the night as they win 3 out of the 5 segments, a positive start for a team that looks to improve on their 12-12 record from last season. Head coach Mark Detweiler feels that defense is the key to championship.
Be really sound on the defensive end of the floor. We can create some problems, get deflections, and so we got some things to clean up offensively, which every team does right now. But because of what we're I think able to do defensively, the ceiling's pretty high. We feel like we got a chance to compete for championships.
Delta's first regular season matchup is set for next Saturday, November 26th, at home as they take on the Connorsville Spartans. Tip-off is set for 7:30 p.m. So, Saturday, there's the boys basketball game. Are you guys going out?
Probably I won't. Olivia, what about you?
I'll definitely be there. I'm so excited for that. Thank you, Max.
After the break, NewsLink Indiana's Jovi Taylor has your campus coverage.
And we have one final look at weather.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now?
Right now. You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. My name is Jovi Taylor, and this is your campus coverage. With finals rapidly approaching, study areas will soon fill up. Yesterday, in the DeHorty lounges, students got together to prepare for their upcoming finals. One freshman, Sydney McKinney, who is majoring in speech-language pathology, decided to utilize the space to get her final projects done in a timely manner. With stress rising for some students, McKinney knows that the best way to distress for finals is to do what you love the most.
I'm really into art. I do a lot of arts and crafts, and I like hanging out with my friends a lot. Like every weekend, I always try to make sure I'm with some friends, and even on my off days, I try to do that. And even going to work, I work at a really fun place.
To get help in academics this semester, visit the Ball State's Learner Center website for tutoring sessions or helpful study tips.
Thank you, Jovi. Let's send it over to Ryan with one last look at weather.
Well, guys, I hope you all like the cold because we're going to be seeing that for the next couple of days. We do see some optimism. We have warmer temperatures on the way for Tuesday and Wednesday. But yes, Saturday night to Sunday it's going to be brutally cold. So make sure you have those hat and gloves ready.
That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune into our sister show tomorrow morning at 8.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.